No, at the moment we are in the auditorium. Everyone is there. Can you see us?
I can see you fine, and I've just got Marisa by my side. I'm just checking here. Yes.
Can you see us? Hello.
I can see you
So
fine,
great.
and I've just got
You're
Marisa by my
perfectly
side.
audible.
I'm just good. Video is fine.
Can you see us? Hello.
Lighter video seems good. I can see you
So
fine.
great.
Again, I've just got
You're
Marisa by
perfectly
my side.
audible.
I'm just good. Video is fine.
Can you see us? Hello.
Lighter video seems good. I can see you
So
fine.
great.
Again, 15
You're
Marisa by
perfectly
my side.
audible. That's
I'm
right.
just
That's right.
good. Video is fine.
Can you see us? Hello.
Lighter video seems good. I can see you
So
fine.
great.
Again, 15
You're
Marisa by
perfectly
my side.
audible. That's
I'm
right.
just
That's right.
good. Video is fine.
Can you see us? Hello.
Lighter video seems good. I can see you
So
fine.
great.
Again, 15
You're
Marisa by
perfectly
my side.
audible. That's right.
I'm
That's
just
right.
good. Video is fine.
Can you see us? Hello.
Lighter
You
video
talk
seems
for an
good. I
hour.
can see you
You
fine. Again,
enable
15
you're
Marisa by
perfectly
my side.
audible. That's right. That's right.
Good. Video is fine.
Can you? Hello.
Lighter
You
video
talk for
seems
an
good. I
hour.
can see you fine.
You
Again,
enable
15
you're
Marisa by
perfectly
my side.
audible. That's right. That's right.
Good. Video is fine.
Can you camera off?
Lighter
You
video
talk for
seems
an
good. I
hour.
can see you fine.
You
Again,
enable
15
you're
Marisa by
perfectly
my side.
audible. That's right. That's right.
Good. Video is fine.
Can you camera off?
Lighter
You
video
talk for
seems
an
good. I
hour.
can see you fine.
You
Again,
enable
15
you're
Marisa by
perfectly
my side.
audible. That's right.
Good. Video is fine.
Can you camera off?
Lighter
You
video
talk for
seems
an
good. I
hour.
can see you
You
fine. Again,
enable
15
you're
Marisa by my
perfectly
side.
audible. Now actually just switch off your mic.
Good.
We've done
Video
much
is
better.
fine.
Can you camera off?
Lighter
You
video
talk for
seems
an
good. I
hour.
can see you fine.
You
Again,
enable
15
you're
Marisa by
perfectly
my
audible.
side.
Now actually just switch off your mic.
Good.
We've done
Video
much
is
better.
fine.
Can you camera off?
Lighter
You
video
talk for
seems
an
good. I
hour.
can see you fine.
You
Again,
enable
15
you're
Marisa by
perfectly
my
audible.
side.
Now actually just switch off your mic.
Good.
We've done
Video
much
is
better.
fine.
Can you camera off?
Lighter
You
video
talk for
seems
an
good. I
hour.
can see you fine.
You
Again,
enable
15
you're
Marisa by
perfectly
my
audible.
side.
Now actually just switch off your mic.
Good.
We've done
Video
much
is
better.
fine.
Can you camera off?
Lighter
You
video
talk for
seems
an
good. I
hour.
can see you fine.
You
Again,
enable
15
you're
Marisa by
perfectly
my
audible.
side.
Now actually just switch off your mic.
Good.
We've done
Video
much
is
better.
fine.
Can you camera off?
Lighter
You
video
talk for
seems
an
good. I
hour.
can see you fine.
You
Again,
enable
लाईव्ह सोडून टाकलं पहिला तो पोरं.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this event organized by the Sheila Gopal Raheja Foundation. A special mention to Mrs. Durga Raheja for facilitating this session, along with Ellis Raheja School of Architecture, Sheila Raheja Institute of Hotel Management, and Sheila Raheja School of Business Management and Research. We welcome our dignitaries and all our guests present today. Also welcoming to this event the members of the press. I would like to introduce our today's presenter. She is a best-selling author, columnist, and a celebrity therapist. Marisa Peer is an internationally award-winning qualified hypnotherapist with advanced certificates in hypnotherapy from the Hypnotism Training Institute of Los Angeles. Having undertaken further studies, Marisa has dedicated the last 3 decades to researching, testing, and applying the most beneficial principles of hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, and neuroscience. The result of over 30 years of careful and rigorous study, Marisa's unique rapid transformational therapy has helped tens of thousands of people worldwide to overcome their own personal challenges and lead happier, more fulfilling lives. Please welcome Marisa Peer.
Well, thank you. I'm absolutely honoured to be here and to see you all, and you all look so lovely and attentive, and it's a huge compliment. Thank you so much. Would you just put in the chat bar, if you wouldn't mind, the youngest age of the students here, and indeed the eldest? I love to know which age groups, because I'm just looking at all your faces. So what is the youngest students? What is the youngest age we have? If somebody could just type it in the chat bar for me, I would love to see that.
So students are from 18 years of age to about 20.
Oh, so the youngest is 18. Okay, wonderful. So let's begin. I'm going to spend an hour and a half with you today. We're going to do an hour's talk. I'm going to be showing you some meditation. I'm going to cover some really exciting topics. One is about how to manifest whatever you want. There are 3 steps to doing that. But I first want to talk about our greatest pain, because I've been a therapist my entire adult life, and I've seen people, all kinds of people, Olympic athletes and movie stars, pop stars, and everyday people and students just like you. And I found that without exception, every client I saw, whether it was someone who was trying to break an Olympic record or someone who was an accountant or just about to take their law exams, their greatest pain all came down to one thing. And it was the lies they told themselves. Now, if a teacher said to me actually, you'll never amount to anything, you'll never make it. And that's hard. If a teacher, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a best friend says, you're boring, I don't like you anymore, or you're nothing, that can hurt. But those people have an agenda, and we can say, well, they're having a bad day, they don't feel good about themselves. But when we lie to ourselves, that causes the most damage. When we tell ourselves lies, it hurts us much more than when someone else is mean, because our mind believes everything we tell it. Our mind lets in everything. Your mind doesn't know, and it doesn't care what you tell it is good or bad, true or false, right or wrong. So when you tell yourself the very common lies, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not interesting enough, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not worthy enough, your mind lets it in. It doesn't say, now why are you saying that? You know that isn't true. Only last week you did really well. It simply lets it in. And I want to show you a lot of things rather than just talk to you. I want to show you the power of words. So I want you all to put your hand in front of your mouth like that. Just put your hand in front of your mouth. And I'd like you for the next 2 minutes to just close your eyes. So please close your eyes. I want you to imagine you're holding in your hand a big, fat, juicy lemon, a gorgeous, fat, juicy lemon. In fact, I want you to breathe in, and I want you to inhale that gorgeous lemon smell, because nothing smells quite like a lemon. And now I want you to squash that lemon so that all the juice bubbles to the surface. I want you to stick out your tongue. I want you to lick off those drops of lemon juice. And now open your mouth Literally open your mouth and shove that half a lemon into your mouth. Push that lemon into your mouth. And I want you to begin eating the lemon. I want you to start chewing the lemon, sucking out the juice, swirling it around your mouth. Really go to town and eat that half a lemon. Keep biting it, sucking it, chewing it, suck out all the flesh, suck out all the juice until your taste buds are puckering and swelling, and you're pumping out more and more saliva, even more saliva, much more saliva as you eat that lemon. Continue eating the lemon, chew the flesh, suck out the juice, swirl it around your mouth, start swallowing it. And now, open your eyes. And I want you to simply put up your hand. If you notice that you started to make saliva, put up your hand. You put my glasses on so I can see you better. If you began to make saliva, if you started to create saliva, we think all the students just raise your hand if you began to make saliva. So here's a question, and it's a question you cannot get wrong. Was there a lemon? And if you say, no, you're actually correct because there wasn't a lemon. And if you say, well, yes, there was, you're also correct because there was a lemon. The only question is, where was it? Well, it was in your imagination. Your mind didn't go, oh, come on, this is silly. There's no lemon. Your mind went, oh, I'm eating a lemon, that's very acidic, damages tooth enamel, I need my teeth, and therefore your mind begins to pump out saliva to wash away the lemon juice that existed entirely in your imagination. You see, one of the rules of your mind is that it lets in everything you tell it. And when you can do something as simple as imagine you're eating a lemon and making saliva because of a thought, you understand something that will impact your entire life. Every thought you think has a physical reaction and an emotional response, and your thoughts are a blueprint that your mind, body, and psyche are always working to make real. So that's a harmless thing, a lemon. It doesn't mean anything. It's completely neutral. But when you say, I'm not good at math, I can't remember, I'm terrible at presenting. When people look at me, I get embarrassed. I'm not good with confrontation. I can't remember my studies. The very same thing is happening. Your mind and body are starting to make that thought real. And if we all took just one thing away from today, it would be this. Your mind works to make your thoughts real. That's its job. The job of your mind is to keep making your thoughts real. But you have a job, and it's an amazing job, and your job is to think better thoughts all the time. If you can accept that your mind's job is to make your thoughts real, then you can accept your job, which is a great job, is to make your thoughts better. So when you say, I can't remember anything, I've got a terrible memory, you switch that thought to, I have an amazing memory. When you say, I blush when people will talk to me, you change that to, I'm very good in company. When you say, I'm addicted to screen time, I can't live without my phone. You change that, with people, I'm so interested, I forget all about my phone. But let me show you again, because I always believe that it's much more fun to see it than to hear. I want you all to take your right arm and point it towards the screen. Just point it towards me. That's all we're going to do. Everyone uses the same arm. And all I want you to do is to swing your right arm. I'm using my left, you're using your right. Swing your right arm as far behind as it will go. So I'm pushing my arm to the maximum. I'm pushing it way behind me. When you've pushed your arm as far as it can go, take a look over your shoulder. And I want you to mark where it is. You can use the wall. You can use it to mark how far your arm has gone. You've pushed it to its maximum. And now bring your arm back. And we're going to talk to our arm, as weird as that may sound. We're going to have a conversation with our arm. Now I want you all to look at your arm and repeat these exact words. You are going to go a third further. Say that to your arm. You will go a third further. You are super flexible. You're like a bendy doll. And I want you to imagine all the muscles in the shoulder, all the muscles in the shoulder of your right arm are becoming loose, all the tendons becoming loose. Close your eyes and just imagine all the muscles and tendons becoming like noodles, like pasta, like rubber bands. And with your eyes closed, see your arm going a third further. See it in your imagination. Open your eyes. Say to your arm one more time, you are going a third further now. Just because I'm telling you to, and seeing it. And now swing your arm back and watch as it goes an entire third further, simply because you told it to. And now, we can do the other arm even faster because we already know this works. Take your left arm, swing it as far behind as it will go, push it to its limit. Bring it back. Say to that arm, you are going a third further. Close your eyes and see that arm in your imagination going a third further. See yourself being super flexible. See all the muscles and tendons opening up, warming up, becoming looser. Say to your arm again, go a third further. I know you can. I'm telling you to. Take that arm back and watch again as it goes much, much further. Just because you told it to. So now you've learned something today, that you can talk to any part of your body. You can talk to your organs, you can talk to your mind, and your body doesn't question what you tell it. It doesn't say, wow, is that true? Or I don't believe it, it lets it in. And the gift of this is that, of course, when you say things like, I get headaches when I'm under stress, I blush when I have to talk to people, I get very tongue-tied when I'm nervous, when I'm anxious, I can't focus. I hate exams because I get so nervous that my mind empties. That's a thought that you're thinking, but you're going to remember that your mind is working to make that thought real. And when you flip your thought and say, I've got a great memory, when I go into my exams, everything I've studied, everything I've read, everything I've studied all comes back to me. I remember everything. You see, we have a choice. Every day we have a choice. You can rationalize why you feel so bad, or you can talk yourself out of it. You all have a brilliant brain. We all have a brilliant brain, and you have a choice. Focus on what could go wrong, or focus on what could go right. I'm going for an interview, I'm taking an exam, I'm feeling so nervous, I'm worried about what could go wrong. Or, here's a choice, I'm going for an exam, everything I've read is in my mind, it's all coming back to me, I'm going to ace this exam. When I sit down to take my exam, my mind is alert. The minute I read the question, my brilliant mind is already showing me the answer, and I've got great powers of concentration and focus, and my memory is amazing. Because you have a choice. You always have a choice. Our problem is that often we make the wrong choices. We don't understand how the mind works. We think the mind is complex. It's not. Your mind is not complex. It's very simple. And one of the key things to understand about the mind is the way you feel about anything is down to only two things: the pictures you make in your head and the words you say to yourself. And when we use the lemon, we filled up your head with pictures of a lemon. We use words about lemon and saliva, and your mind responded to the pictures you were making and the words you were hearing. When you swung your arm back, your mind was responding to pictures and words, only pictures and words. And if you can accept that that is true, that the way you feel about everything is down to the pictures you make in your head and the words you say to yourself, then here's the gift. You get to choose the pictures and words you put in your head. Here's an example. You could say, I'm chronically stressed. I'm chronically tired. I'm chronically worried. Now you've put a very powerful word in your head. You've used the word chronic and you've used the word stress or worry or anxiety, and that's a picture. But imagine if you change that to, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little tired. I'm a little bit stressed, but you know what? I'm going to take some deep breaths, drink some water, and imagine it's all going to be great. I'm going into an exam. I've got a choice. I'm chronically worried, or I'm a little bit concerned. This is a very important exam, but hey, I've done all the studies. I'm really good at this. When you change the words you use and change the pictures, you change everything. And really, you only have to focus on the words because the words change the pictures. Many, many years ago, I was going to bed at night and I got a call from a television show. I said, hey, could you come on, it was the BBC actually, they said, could you come on the radio? I was like, sure. They said, well, we'll pick you up very early, 5 a.m. It's only the radio, don't worry. So 5 a.m. I got out of bed, I combed my hair, I got in the car, went to the radio, I put the headphones on, and all of a sudden they said, actually, we're going to put you on the news instead. I was talking about the work I'd done with a very famous football club where I made all these players imagine winning the Championship League, winning. They'd never won anything. They came from nowhere. There was a club called Wigan, it still gets talked about to this day. And I made them all visualize they were winning. And they won. And they stayed number 4 in the Premier League for almost a year, which was incredible because they weren't even in the number 1 league. So I'm suddenly rushing across the car park thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going on the BBC News, I haven't got any makeup on, I'm not dressed for this, I literally got out of bed, thank goodness I had on a black jacket. And all of a sudden, when you're doing live television, you've got a dolly and the camera's over there and it starts coming towards you. And as it's coming towards me like this, I knew I had a choice. I could go, oh, you know, I'm not ready, I don't look professional, I'm on the news and I've got on a t-shirt, I'm no makeup, or I could talk myself out of it and start going, I love this, I love it, love it, love it, love it, I'm so great, I'm going on the news to talk about it, bang, the camera was in my face. So I had 30 seconds to talk myself into it or out of it. I should have got dressed, I should have looked better, I should have put on some makeup, or this is great, nobody cares what I look like, they care what I have to say. I hypnotized this football team and it made history. And when people saw it, they never said, hey Marisa, you look awful. They went, wow Marisa, you were on the BBC News talking about this football team, it was so amazing. No one said, wow, you could have dressed up a bit more, put on some lipstick. Because I had a choice, we always have a choice. Talk yourself into it, talk yourself out of it. So let's go back to our greatest pain caused by the lies we tell ourselves. And the lies are, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm faking this, I have imposter syndrome. 80% of women, 40% of men have imposter syndrome. They just believe they're not good enough, they're faking it. And if you're prepared to tell yourself a lie, I'm not interesting, I'm not smart, I'm not worthy, I should have been someone else, I wish I was smarter, taller. If you're prepared to tell yourself a lie, tell yourself a better lie. My life has been changed and measured by telling myself a better lie. My teachers told me I'd never amount to anything. My sister and brother both went to private school, I didn't. I wasn't the smart one. They were smart. They went to private school, I didn't. And yet they both would agree that I'm more successful financially and in many other ways too than they are. That isn't to diminish them. What I'm saying is it doesn't matter where you've come from. It matters where you are going. And belief without talent can actually take you further than talent without belief. I have many clients who are very talented singers, talented artists, but they don't believe in themselves. And they go, oh no, I can't be in front of it, I'm not good at auditions. And so they have immense talent, but they don't have self-belief. Other people have immense self-belief and not that much talent, and amazingly they go further. But when you have both, when you have talent and self-belief, you can do anything, you can go anywhere, you can be anything. So the lies we tell ourselves often stem from living someone else's story. And this is something I see with clients over and over again. My mother wanted a boy and I was the 4th girl. My father wanted a girl and I was the 4th boy. My family wanted me to be accountants or a lawyer or a doctor. It's not my dream. Do not make someone else's story your story. One of my clients said to me, you know, my mother said every day of my life, don't trust anyone. You can't even trust your own shadow. She said, now, I don't trust anyone. I said, but that's your mother's story. It's not your story. Your mother's story might be, you know, you have to work really hard. Life is all about working hard. Your parents' story might be, you better get married early on. Maybe it would be, don't get married. Hard work. And other people have a story and it's okay, but it's not your story. You get to decide your story. You have a gift, you have a talent. So the two things that I find cause people the most pain without question are the lies they tell themselves and the fact that they are trying to live someone else's story. It's so important for my parents that I do this, that I become this. And it is important for your parents, but we're not born to be our parents. My daughter is an artist, she's nothing like me. And that's the deal, she's not supposed to. She's not supposed to say, hey mum, I'll be a therapist like you, I'll be a writer like you. She has her own dream, her own story, and her story is not my story, but I'm very proud of her because she's doing what makes her heart sing. So always tune in every day when you're talking to yourself, notice the lies, I'm gonna mess this up. I'm late, so I've ruined this. I didn't do that well enough, that I'm an idiot. And tell yourself a better lie. I'm doing great. I have a talent. If I apply myself, I can do anything. I have an amazing memory. I have a gift. You see, you're not supposed to be good at everything. Recently, I was giving a talk and a man put up his hand and said, hey, could you help me? Sure. How can I make my kid good at everything? I said, are you? He said, what? I said, are you good at everything? He said, no. I said, well, that's your answer, isn't it? If you are not good at every subject, why would you ask your child to be good at everything? You're asking your child to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. If you are brilliant at science or math, that's your gift, but you can't also be brilliant at art and English. We all have a talent. Look at your talent, believe in your talent, be good at what you're good at, but do not believe you have to be good at every subject, because that just isn't possible. So let's talk about manifesting. We've got a lot to cover, and I'm going to keep coming back. Ever since The Secret came out, people have this belief, I can just sit like that and I can manifest. And they miss the point that to manifest, to get what you want in life, you must do three things, and you must do all three. You can't do one of the three, or two of the three. You have to do all three. What are the three things? Well, the first one is that you must believe you're worth it. That's the hardest thing for many people. They work really hard to get a goal, but they have this belief, I'm not really good enough. Here comes imposter syndrome again. I'm really faking this, I'm pretending, but inside, I don't feel worthy. I'm getting an award and I feel like a fake. I'm doing well, but I feel like I'm winging it here. And so the first thing, we're going to do a session in just a minute and really wire in and fire in and code in this belief that you are worth it, that you are deserving of it. You know, 70% of people who win the lottery are completely bankrupt in 3 years. That's extraordinary. There are people who win millions of pounds and 70% of them are bankrupt in 3 years. Why is that? Because they didn't feel worth it. They think, I didn't earn this. I got this so easily. I'm not really sure I'm worth this. And that causes problems. And the 30% who keep that money, invest it and grow it, believe, well, I am worth it. I've won the lottery. I can do great things with this money. I can fund schools, I can build a business, I can help other people. I'm so glad I've got this money. The same thing in a relationship. So many relationships go wrong and think, well, I don't really deserve this. If this person really knew me, they'd seem a bit of fake. So the first step to manifest, whether you're manifesting fantastic results in your exams, manifesting going to college, manifesting being an entrepreneur, growing a business, having great relationships, the first step is that you absolutely must believe that you're worth it. You're worth it, you're deserving of it. People have such problems with that, and yet it's the easiest thing to fix, so we're going to do that in just a few minutes. The second step is to be really, really clear about what it looks like. And I see so many clients, thousands, who get this bit wrong. I just wanted to open a restaurant. I've opened one, but I didn't realize I had to be there 7 days a week. I'd be there at 10. I didn't get home till midnight. I didn't really understand. I wanted a relationship with someone really wealthy, and I've got it, but they're always on a plane. I never see them. So you've got to be really clear, what does it look like? I'll give you an example. When I was about 25, I wanted to write a book. I wanted to be a best-selling author, but I didn't really know what that looked like, because when I began to write a book at 25, I realized what it looked like. It looks like being on your own every day. You can't have people around, you can't be distracted, you have to shut yourself in the house and write. And I didn't quite understand how isolating it was to write, especially at 25. I'd looked at, I'm going to write a book, it's going to be a bestseller. And then I had looked at the second bit, which was actually writing a book is quite easy. But the second part of writing a book is that I had to start writing articles to keep my book selling. I had to do way more work. It was harder work to do the second bit. Write an article for a magazine, write another article, do a talk, go on a book signing tour. So that was much harder. And I hadn't really seen that. Now I see it. And I understand what's involved and I do it. So the second step is really look at what you want. What does it look like? Now look again, what does it look like? And look again, what does it look like? When you've got the first step, you know you're worth it, and you really know what it looks like, let's look at the third step. The work you are going to do to get what you want. Having what you want requires doing what you don't want. I work with many people who are successful, and here's something they do. People who are successful all do this. They do what they do not want to do to get to where they want to go. People who fail will give up their dreams before they do that. So you must be prepared to do what you don't want to do. It's like saying, I want to have a six-pack. Really? Yeah, well, then you're going to have to do 600 sit-ups a day. One of my clients is a very famous movie star, does 600 sit-ups a day. She does the plank every day. She never eats carbs. That's hard, but she knows what it looks like having that six-pack. And she knows what she has to do, and she does it. And many of us say, I know what it looks like. I don't really want to do it. I know what it looks like, but I don't want to do that bit. So you have to do all three. I'm worth it. I know exactly with laser vision what it looks like, and I'm willing to do the work. I will do what it takes, because anything you want of significance will require you to do something new. I write books. I had to learn to be a speaker. I had to go on stage and speak about my books. I'm like, oh no, I'm not a speaker. I'm a writer. Well, if you want to be a best-selling writer, you better be a speaker. You better be a presenter. You better understand search engine optimization. It's not enough to go, hey, I'm a writer. Hey, I'm a performer. Hey, I'm an architect. You have to do more. And people who are successful do 6 things that I'm going to tell you about right now, because I promise you, in fact, I guarantee you, if you decide to do these 6 things, you almost can't stop yourself being successful. The first one, and you're lucky, some of you are just 18, 20, 22. If you put this into your life, you can almost have anything. The first one, I already covered it. Be prepared to do what you do not want to do. I hate studying, I'm going to do that first. I've got a business and I've got to ask for a loan, get an investment, talk to a member of staff who's failing. I don't know. But I'm going to do it first. So people who succeed do what they don't want to do to get to where they want to go, and they always do it first. They do the jobs they hate first. People who are not successful put off those jobs. Well, I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow. So be prepared to do what you don't want to do, and be prepared to do what you don't want to do first. The next thing is that they take action every single day in the direction of their goals. one of my clients who's an Olympic athlete said, you know, I heard that, I'm trying to think who it was, a very famous basketball player, trains, I think it was Tom Brady, actually he's a football player, but never mind. I heard he trains even on Christmas Day, that's right, even on Christmas Day he trains. Well, I'm going to do that too. If he does it, I'm going to do it. And so on your way to success, it doesn't mean working 7 days, but let's imagine you have a business. Even on your day off, you make one 5-minute phone call. You watch one YouTube tutorial. When you do one thing every single day on your way to success, it takes you to success much faster. It doesn't mean you've got to work 7 days a week, but it means every day, even on your day off, you do one thing. And if you take action every day, even if it's just for a few minutes on your day off in the direction of your goals, you'll get to your goals faster. The third thing that successful people do is they do not take no for an answer. They hear no after J.K. Rowling was told, Harry Potter's not going to make it, this isn't an interesting story, and every time her manuscript came back, she put it back in an envelope and sent it back to someone else until it was accepted. And many people who are amazingly successful have heard no. Eminem was told, Eminem, you can't be a rapper. I mean, take a look in the mirror, you're a white guy with blue eyes and blonde hair, that's not a rapper. He said, I was so angry when I was told no, and I used the anger to go out and rap. And I didn't win, I came second, but Jay-Z was in the audience, and he made me probably one of the most famous rappers at the time in the world. Ed Sheeran was told, Ed, come on, take a look in the mirror, you've got red hair, white skin, big thick glasses, you cannot be a rock star. Eminem actually helped Ed Sheeran, who was busking in the street at 14, sleeping in a park, become one of the wealthiest, I think he's worth 160 million, I mean, one of the wealthiest singers in the world. But they were all told no, 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 no. And people who make it hear no, they hear no, not right now, not this minute, maybe later. They hear delay, not deny. So another important thing to make it is do not take no for an answer. I had many books turned down, but I kept going. I heard the manuscript start as it landed on the floor. I just sent them back, rather like J.K. Rowling. People who succeed hear no a lot, but they don't hear no. They hear no at the moment, no right now. Come back later, try again, adapt your product. So never take no for an answer. And there are two more things. One is delay gratification. Many people come in and go, oh, I've got all this work to do, but I'm just going to have dinner, watch a bit of television, go on my screen, hang out with my friends. What you have to do is say, I've got all this work to do, I'm going to do some work, and dinner and screen time is going to be my reward. You see, our mind is hardwired to like to be rewarded. And if you can make every little thing, I've got to make a phone call, suppose I want to have my coffee, I'm going to make the phone call and the coffee is going to be my reward. When you can train your brain, and it's very easy to reward yourself for simple actions, you get in that mindset of doing more, taking every little thing as a reward, and it makes you massively motivated. And finally, well, there are two more things actually. People who are really good will tell you, hey, I'm really good at this. This is my gift. This is my talent. This is my unique skill set. They praise themselves a lot. It's not arrogance. They don't go, hey, I'm the best in the world, me. They do it differently. They say, wow, today I was really good at my studies. I did a great essay. I really focused in class. I've trained 13,000 therapists all over the world, and I teach them to say, wow, today I was amazing with that client. I did a great job. The words that came out of my mouth were extraordinary. That's not arrogance. The key to having high self-esteem is praise. There is nothing that will grow your self-esteem like praise. And there's nothing that will wither it like criticism, and self-praise and self-criticism have more impact on you. See, someone else could be mean, or someone else could praise you, but they could have an agenda. But when you say, today I was on fire, today I handled that customer, so today I really excelled myself, today I was great, You could say today, I was kind, I was patient, I was tolerant, I was understanding. But if you think of yourself having a praise muscle, if you have a muscle that grows with praise, then you've got to practice praise. And all people who are successful praise themselves. They don't go, hey, was I good? Am I okay? Do you like me? They don't give that power away. They say, I'm good. Because if you are looking for your self-esteem anywhere that it's outside of yourself, you're never going to find it. Looking for your self-esteem in a place that is not in here. Actually, let me just so you can see me. So, looking for your self-esteem that isn't in here, you cannot find it. Self-esteem is in you. If I said I hold this audience in the highest esteem, I'm talking about you, but self-esteem is what you think of you. So one of our biggest problems is looking for our self-esteem outside of ourselves. If you want to grow your self-esteem, I promise you this, there is nothing that will grow your self-esteem the way praise does. You say, oh, I feel arrogant praising myself. I think I'm big-headed, I feel uncomfortable. No. You're not going, hey, I'm the greatest in the world. But by the way, Muhammad Ali said, you know what? I told myself I was the greatest before I was the greatest. And when I said I'm the greatest, I became in everyone else's eyes the greatest, but I wasn't the greatest when I said I was. But I kept saying it, and I became it. So imagine what you could say to yourself. I'm gifted, I'm talented, I'm smart, I'm enough, I matter, I'm significant, I've got something to offer the world. Think right now what you could say about yourself that would grow your self-esteem. Think again. Let's all think right now, what could you say about yourself that would grow your self-esteem? In fact, if all of us every day said just these statements, I matter, I'm significant, I've got something to offer the world, even if I don't yet know what it is. I matter, I'm significant, I've got something to offer the world, I'm enough, and I'm lovable. If we all said that every day, our self-esteem would grow. So let's do some hypnosis and meditation right now, because I really want to really wire in and fire in the 3 ways of manifesting. I want you to help you to grow yourself. I want you to help yourself live your own story. So we're going to do a form of hypnosis. It's not dangerous, it's not scary, it doesn't send you to sleep. If anything, it wakes you up. But it's also really just a form of meditation. I'm going to be asking you to do a couple of things. I'm going to be asking you to take these 2 fingers and press in between your eyebrows, right here. Make a little indentation, a little circle. I'm going to be asking you to hold out your hands like that so you can code in what it is that you want. And I'm going to be asking you to just move from side to side, really just an inch to the left, an inch to the right. So let's do that again, because you're going to be doing this entire meditation with your eyes shut. When I ask you to use your 2 fingers and touch the area in between your eyebrows, just like that, that's all it is. Then I'm going to ask you to open out your hands, you can have them wider than that, and code in. And then I'm going to be asking you to move from side to side, but it's not this massive movement like that, it's just an inch to the left, just an inch to the right. But first I want you to look up. So if you just look at my eyes, I'm going to ask you to look up. And the trick, and it is a trick, is to keep your eyeballs up, but to close your lids down. So let's all do that first. Just roll up your eyes as if you're trying to look into your own eyebrows. Keep your eyeballs up. Keeping your eyeballs up, close your eyelids down. If you can do that, you can't stop yourself going into hypnosis. It means you're an incredible subject. So you've had a little practice, a little rehearsal. Let's begin. I want you to look up as high as you possibly can, as if you are looking into your own eyebrows, keeping your eyeballs up. Breathe in, breathe out. And again, take another deep breath. Breathe in. Every time you blink, that means you're responding perfectly. Breathe out. And one more time, look up, hold it. Hold it, and as you exhale, keep your eyeballs up, but just close your eyelids right down, all the way down. Drop your chin, so you have that looking down sensation. Please keep your eyes closed. And in your imagination, you are looking down 10 steps. And as I count, you can see your feet moving onto step 10. You can feel your feet moving onto step 9. You can hear your feet connecting onto step 8. And now you're taking step 7, going deeper into an awareness of yourself. You're taking step 6 as each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 5, you're halfway down. You're taking step 4 as each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 3 as you gently, calmly, easily move on over to an even deeper level. You are taking step 2. You're taking step 1. Please keep your eyes closed. Don't worry about the position of your eyelids, but keep your eyes closed. And I want you to take those 2 fingers. I want you to touch the area right in between your eyebrows. Make a little impression, a little indentation. I want you to impress upon yourself what it is that you really, really want. We're going to be covering how to manifest. Think about what you want with your eyes closed. Making that tiny circle, I want you to say out loud these exact words. What I require of myself and what I give to myself is. Because it's not about what you want, it's about what you require. What do you require of yourself? What are you going to give yourself? I'm going to have you begin and complete that sentence in your own words, but I'm going to help you by giving you some guidance. I want you all to say out loud, what I require of myself is high self-esteem. What I give to myself is high self-esteem. What I require of myself is to wire in those 7 habits of success, doing what I hate, taking action every day, delaying gratification, praising myself, not taking no for an answer. And you may want to just pick one of those today, and I want you again, because I'm showing you how to do it, but you have to do this. Eyes closed, I want you to really focus. Repeat after me, what I require of myself is, and finish that sentence yourself. Really wire in and fire in. What is it that you require of yourself? What is it that you're going to give to yourself? So one more time, I need you to say this out loud. None of your fellow students are listening to you. We're all busy doing this. So out loud with conviction, with certainty, one more time, touch that area and say, what I require of myself is. What I insist on for myself is. Do that right now. And then I want you to really just allow yourself to believe that you are worthy. That remember, the first step in having what you want is being certain that you are worth it. You deserve it. So just allow my words to sink in. You are worthy of success. You are deserving of success. Success is not coming to you, but you are going towards it. You are moving towards success every day because you know with unshakable conviction, with absolute certainty that you are worth it, that you deserve it. So take a couple of minutes. It's really important to spend some time on this first step. You're worthy of success. You are deserving of success. What you want wants you, What you are moving towards is moving towards you. Success may not be coming to you, but you are going to it like an arrow, like a missile, like a laser. You are moving towards success. What you want wants you. What you are moving towards is moving towards you, more so when you are certain that you are worthy of it and deserving of it. Now, many of us at this stage are really wiring in and firing in, I'm worthy, I'm deserving, I'm worthy of success. Have some blocks. We have this voice going, well, not really, my sister is smart and my brother, other people are better than me. So while you are thinking about wiring in and firing and encoding in the fact that you are worthy of success and deserving and willing to do whatever it takes and to work hard, you may have that little voice going, and I want you to just move from side to side. Just like I showed you, an inch to the left, an inch to the right, and as you move from side to side, you are erasing, eradicating, eliminating that negative voice. You will remember your entire life, the land and the arm, and remember, maybe a voice in my head going, you can't do that, but I have the power to shut down that voice. You have the power to remember that the words you hear in your head are your words, and you can change them, you can make them better, so move from side to side. And as you move from side to side, you are erasing, eradicating, eliminating, releasing, removing, letting go of that critical voice. Just let it go. Move from side to side, let it go. You can even hear the words from Frozen, let it go, let it go. Who needs to hear a critical voice anyway? When you have the power to have a powerful voice and go back again, now you've let go. Now you've erased, eradicated the critical voice, go back again, press that little part in between your eyebrows and remind yourself what I require of myself, what I give to myself is, do it again. Make sure you're stating it with unwavering confidence, with conviction, with certainty. Make your voice strong. What I require of myself is, what I give to myself is, affirm it, state it, intend it. And now open out your hands like I showed before, and I want you to code that in. With your eyes closed, I want you to simply imagine, what does it look like? What does it look like for you when you have confidence, when you have self-belief, when you have high self-esteem? What does it look like for you when you massively increase your own sense of self-worth, self-value, self-image, and self-esteem? What does it look like? Keep looking at it. Keep stepping into it. And while you're thinking about what does it look like, I want you to think about, what does it feel like? What does it feel like in your body when your legs are steady, your voice is confident, your breathing is deep, your body language is perfect, and you are radiating self-confidence, self-belief, and you know that self-esteem, it's not out there, it's in you. What does that look like? What does it feel like? I want you to see it, but I also want you to feel that feeling. Feel that feeling of having high self-esteem. It's in you. You have put it in you. You have high self-esteem, high self-worth, high self-value. You are massively increasing your sense of self-worth, self-image, self-value, self-esteem. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Feel that feeling. That when you're speaking, Your breathing is deep and steady. Your voice is confident, full of knowledge. Your body language is amazing. Your energy is amazing. What does it look like? What does it feel like? But also, what does it sound like? I want you to hear your voice. When you're speaking, what you have to say makes sense. People listen to you. They listen to you because what you have to say makes sense. The way you say it is just right. You have a great ability to engage people. So see it, feel it, hear it. Use all your senses. Open out your hands again and call that in. Code that in, wire that in, fire that in. That image of you speaking with confidence, moving through the world with confidence, understanding you have a gift, you have something unique to offer the world. You can never compare yourself to anyone. You are unique. So see it, feel it, hear it. You are walking through the world. And you have something to offer the world. You're here for a reason. There's no one else in the world exactly like you. Keep your eyes closed and just focus on the fact that every day you are moving on from one incredible accomplishment to another. Every day your sense of self-esteem is increasing. Every day you're aware that you have something to offer the world. Every day you grow in confidence. You grow in self-worth. Every day you are moving on to a new awareness of who you are, why you're here. And you understand something else. You have no idea what your potential is because your potential expands as you move towards it. As you hit your potential, it expands and it expands again. And you cannot even know today what your potential is. Nobody can know because as you move towards your potential, it expands and it expands again. And so you know something amazing. Wow, my potential expands as I move towards it. And when your mind moves to a new dimension, it never ever goes back. And today, you've let in some amazing things. You've understood, and understanding is power. Today you have understood that our greatest pain is because of the lies we tell ourselves, but you have the power to tell yourself a better lie. I'm amazing. I'm here for a reason. I've got something to offer the world. I'm smart. And I have the power to understand that the way I feel is down to the pictures I make and the words I construct, and I can change them. You understand that you're here to live your story, to make your story a masterpiece. Someone else's story, that's not your story. Your story is yours to create. And belief without talent can take you further than talent without belief. But when you have both talent and belief, you are unstoppable. And you understand the keys, the habits that successful people have. They do what they don't want to do. Whatever you want will require doing what you don't want, and you are willing to do that. You're willing to do the things you don't want to do first. You're willing to take action every day in the direction of your goals. You're willing to delay gratification, to praise yourself, to never take no for an answer, to see no as a delay but not a denial. And finally, you understand the 3 ways to manifest. So let's spend our last few minutes manifesting. I want you again to decide what it is that you want. And decide right now that you are worth it. This is the most important step. 80% of success comes down to having a success mindset. 80% of success comes down to having I'm worth it, I deserve it mindset. So right now, let's do the 80%. Just take a few minutes and just decide I'm worth it. Whatever I want, whatever it is that you want, you are worth it. and you are deserving of it. We're going to take a little few minutes right now, and I want you to really get it, that you're worth it. This step is the most important. So take 60 seconds and just keep repeating to yourself, I'm worth it, I'm deserving of it, and I'm ready. I'm worth it, I'm deserving of it, and I'm ready. I want you to say that out loud for 45 seconds. Don't stop. Say it now. Make sure your voice is confident and strong as you keep saying, I'm worth it, I'm deserving of it, and I'm ready. And now let's go on to the next step. Whatever you want, I want you to really see what it looks like. You must know what it looks like. You must have a clear, crisp, what it looks like. So decide what you want in life, and now see it. See it with a magnifying glass, because you have to know what it looks like. You have to be clear. What does it look like? So take another minute and be really clear about what it looks like. Look at it again. Look right through it, whatever you want, look over it. Look around it, look through it, see it clearly. And as you see what you want, exactly what it looks like, you'll see something else. As you look at what you want and see it, you'll see what you have to do to get that. So look at what you want, look at what you have to do, and when you can clearly look at what you want and see what you need to do to get what you want, you can move to the third step, which is being prepared to do what you need to do to get to where you want to be. You want to go to college, open a business, be an entrepreneur, be a speaker, be a writer, then what are you prepared to do? And if you're prepared to do anything it takes, knowing that you're worth it, knowing what it looks like, I promise you, you're very, very, very likely to have it. And remember, these techniques are not going to go away. At any time, you can look up, close your eyes, go down 10 steps, take those 2 fingers, impress upon yourself what it is that you want so much. Decide what it looks like. Use all your senses. What does it look like, feel like, sound like? Code it in. And whenever you hear that critical voice saying, oh, this is too hard, you can't do it, you just move from side to side. You erase, eradicate, eliminate, shatter, and smash that critical voice, and then you do it again. You impress upon yourself what you want, you code it in, and you can simultaneously move from side to side and erase that critical voice, which is coming from you after all. And remember, you always have the power to change the words, to change your pictures. Your mind's job is to do what it thinks you want, and your job is to make it absolutely clear. So you've done fantastically well. Thank you for staying with me for a whole hour. And now we have half an hour to do some amazing Q&A. So just open your eyes. Just come back into the room. Just take a minute. And while you're looking at the screen, I'll just quickly show you again how to do this anytime when you're on the bus, when you're sitting at the table, when you're even at your desk at school. At any time you can look up like that. Always look up and then close the eyes, because you go into an alpha brainwave, the most suggestible. So if any time you want to change your state, you look up, keep your eyeballs up, close your lids, drop your chin, go down 10 steps. That's easy. Take these 2 fingers, impress upon yourself what you want, code it in, and simultaneously you can move from side to side and just shatter, erase, and eradicate that critical voice and put in a better voice saying, I've got this, I'm worth it, I deserve it, I know what it looks like, I know what I have to do, and I'm doing an Olympic athlete who knows what it looks like to get the gold medal. They see themselves running through that tape, getting the gold, but they also know it requires a huge amount of training, and they're willing to do it. and you can do exactly what they do. You can pick up those 7 habits of success one at a time or all of them, and if you do it, you will be more successful than you could even imagine. So thank you so much, and I'm now ready to answer your questions.
Well, Marisa, that was absolutely thought-provoking. We all did the piece of meditation ourselves here, and our minds are all fired. Thank you for that. So I'm sure the audience has a lot of questions for you. So let's open the floor for some questions, please. So can we go to the auditorium for some questions?
And are you putting the questions in the chat, or are you opening up the mics? I don't mind whichever way you want to do it. Are you putting questions?
However you like it. Could you want it in the chat box? We could also give the mic to the floor.
And if you want to ask any questions about addictions, we can cover it too.
Hello, ma'am.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
If you want to, I know we were going to talk about addictions as a possible addiction, but we didn't. But if you want to ask me about addictions, one of the things we can certainly cover that too.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, all right.
Can I start? Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
I am Chinmay Pai, and my question to you was about how can we overcome our wrong decisions we make in peer pressure.
Well, you know, Napoleon said a man who never made a mistake never made anything. We all make mistakes. We all make wrong decisions. The thing is, all you can do is learn from that. If you make a mistake and say, hey, I would never do that again. I didn't leave enough time for my exam. I didn't answer the questions. But I learned something. So when you've made a wrong decision, you can't go back and change it. But you can learn from it. You can say, okay, I learned from that. I'll never do that again. The minute you say I learned and I won't do it again, you've massively advanced your education. You've advanced who you are. You've advanced your education. You've learned something. You are allowed to make a mistake. You know what you're not allowed to? You're not allowed to beat yourself up for making a mistake. You're allowed to make a mistake. You are not allowed to beat yourself up and to punish yourself because you're human. So look at the wrong decision, learn from it, and see that as something that's advanced your education because you learned something, you learned what not to do, and actually one day you'll look back and that will be an asset. And I love the fact you use peer pressure because, of course, that's my name, Marisa Peer. So peer pressure is an interesting thing where you are feeling the pressure of your peers, but you're a unique person. Some people did the best work from mistakes. They learned something. They made a prototype, it didn't work. But if you look at most people, they'll say, you know, it's through my mistakes that I became so good. I learned something amazing. So don't beat yourself up. Just go on, go forwards. Do not allow mistakes to hold you back. Allow them instead to propel you forwards.
Well, absolutely. Well noted. Do we have another student there?
So, good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Haripriya Jayaraman.
Hi.
And while telling ourselves these positive affirmations, how do we remind ourselves to set realistic expectations?
I don't think so. I think you should have unrealistic expectations. When I wrote my first book, I thought I want this to be a bestseller. When I became a therapist, I want to be the best therapist in the world. Was that unrealistic? You see, your mind expands as you move to your potential. I was watching last week the story about Serena and Venus Williams. And you see, people who make it have unrealistic, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to be number one, I'm going to get a gold medal, I'm going to be the best movie star, rather like again Ed Sheeran, who was told you can't be a pop star. Eminem was told you can't be a rapper. They had unrealistic expectations. I think you should make your expectations big and massive, because as you move towards them, you will probably succeed. It doesn't matter if you come second. I don't even know if you know this band, One Direction. I'm sure you do. For the biggest and in the world, in terms of money, they were the most successful band in the world. But they appeared on X Factor. They didn't win. I think they came third. They didn't come first. So what are their expectations? We didn't win X Factor, we didn't win Pop Idol, we weren't the winners, and yet they have huge expectations. Who cares? Let's regroup and be the biggest boy band in the world and they did it. Because it isn't that the winner takes it, or some person who comes second or even third, like Eminem came second at the rap concert. He has made more money than the person who came first. In fact, we don't even know anymore who came first. It's not important. So I believe you should have big expectations, huge expectations. You know, when they say if you reach for the stars, you'll probably at least get the moon and the sun. And so I think small expectations, be realistic. I would say no, because the mind expands. Think big, think bold. Don't dream big, because you're not a dreamer, you're a doer, but have bigger expectations, because the bigger they are, the more likely you are. And again, Muhammad Ali didn't say, I'm sometimes the best, I'm one of the best. He said, I am the best. And because he said it, in our minds he always was. He was actually defeated, but we never think about that. We think about all the things he did. Remember great speakers, they always say, I'm the best. When you go to school, you want the teacher to say, this is the best school, we're the best teacher, this is the best doctor, this is the best restaurant, this is the best airline. We like the best. They make us feel good about ourselves. So decide you are the best and move towards that goal and hold it in your mind. Keep doing this, I'm the best. Think of your expectations, code them in, pull them in, erase anything negative and go towards the best, because the more you plan to be that, the more likely you are to make it. People say, well, it's lonely at the top. No, it isn't. You don't have to be the best, you can be amongst the very best. So go for it with belief, and you're very likely to pull it off, and I wish you every success.
Thank you, Mom.
Well, that is such a lovely way to look at it. Unrealistic expectations. Thank you. Can we have another question?
Hello, ma'am. My name is Unnati Karandekar, and my question to you is: can we use the lies to motivate ourselves? Can self-lies lead to self-motivation?
I think so. You see, people get very upset about the word lie, but when you say, I'm hopeless, or I'm a loser, or I'm not good enough, or I'm nervous, that's a lie. When people say, I always get it wrong, that's a lie. You don't always get it wrong. I'm never good at maths. It's a lie. So tell yourself a better lie. You may say, I don't like the word lie, but tell yourself a better story. I'm no good with people, that's the story. Tell yourself a better story, because when you tell yourself a better story, you're motivated. Imagine if you said, I'm no good with people, but I want to be a speaker. I want to run my own business, but how can I do that if I'm no good with people? Now I've got a block, I've got a barrier. But if I change that story, I'm really good with people. I can talk to anyone. I'm really good with customers. I'm really great with clients. Now I can have a business because I've told myself another story. Imagine if you say, I can't sell. I don't like talking about money. I get really embarrassed. That's the story. And if you flip that to, hey, selling is a skill. I'm really good at sales. I can sell anything. I have a gift for selling. Now you've told yourself a different story. One will propel you to success and one will hold you back. So it's really a question of looking at your own language, monitoring how you speak, and deciding, if I want to run my own business, I better believe I'm good at selling, good with customers, good with clients, good with people. And if I believe that, and tell myself that enough, you see, belief is nothing more than a thought you think a lot. And the thought always comes first. Thoughts come in front of feelings. So first comes thoughts, then feelings, then actions, then behaviors. And a belief is only a thought you think a lot. So we make our beliefs. Then our beliefs turn around and make us. And if you make better beliefs, that will make you. So make better beliefs, and I promise it will make you.
Thank you. Yes, it's all in the mind, right? We need to motivate ourselves.
We're always taught that for change your behavior, but that's incorrect. You've got to change the thought. If you look at my hand, I'm going to imagine my hand as a ladder. This is a thought, this is a feeling, this is a behavior. And we'll change it. It's the wrong thing to change. Change the thought. We will say, well, my behavior is I'm shy, or I'm super defensive, or I'm a little angry, or a little hurt. That's a behavior, but you don't have to change it. You have to change the thought. Thought comes first. Thoughts and beliefs come in front of feelings, come in front of behaviors. If you can just change your thinking, it can change your entire life for the rest of your life, and it's free and it's easy. So we should all be doing it, and that's what I've been doing with you today, getting you to change your thinking, because it comes in front of everything, even your feelings.
Yes, absolutely. Can we go to the next question, please?
Hello ma'am, my name is Apurva Nakwa, and my question to you is that people have a habit of lying and ignoring things when under stress and pressure. So how do we deal with it, and how can we overcome stress?
Well, here's a great way to overcome stress. Let's all do it now. It sounds a bit disgusting, but it's really cool. When you're stressed, if you fill up your mouth with saliva and swirl it around your mouth, it sends a message to your brain that says, I'm super relaxed. You might notice if you ever fall asleep in the afternoon, you wake up with a bit of drool in your mouth, because when you're relaxed, your mouth is wet. When you're stressed, your mouth is dry. So let's all do it now, because nobody will know. And I'm going to do it while you look at me. I'm filling up my mouth with saliva and I'm swirling it around. It sends a message to your brain. Here's how the brain works. Wet mouth means you're relaxed. Dry mouth means you're nervous. If you ever watch someone in court, you'll see they drink water all the time, because wet mouth tells your mind you're relaxed. So in the middle of an exam, I'm so nervous, I feel like eating a mouthful of peanut butter, my brain is emptying. When you're nervous, your mind empties. But if you can just fill up your mouth with saliva and swirl it around, not only do you feel relaxed, your memory comes back. In an exam, when you think, I can't remember, fill up your mouth and swirl it around, because your memory comes back. There's some other things you can do too. Stroking your face like this. Actually, you have stress receptors right here. And if you're in an exam or a situation you're feeling nervous, you could just stroke your face like that. It stops you feeling tense. You may notice that geniuses do this all the time. When they're thinking, they're stroking their face, because it immediately stops you feeling tense. So we've got a couple of options here. Fill up your mouth with saliva, swirl it around, simultaneously stroke your face like this or like that. Push your shoulders down, and finally, let me just move. Put your hands on your shoulders, let's all do it now. And stroke down your arms as hard as you can, while thinking, I'm really great at exams. I've got an amazing memory. I'm so good with people. I'm acing this oral exam. I'm fantastic at this written exam. These are little hacks, but they really, really work. And there's one other, you'll see children all the time, when you're nervous, if you put your tongue between your mouth like that, funny enough, I paddleboard a lot, and every time I'm about to fall off, I find myself doing that. And it makes me focus. And so these are habits that geniuses do all the time. They put their tongue between their teeth and they focus. They stroke their chin, stroke the arms, push your shoulders down. But the mouth with saliva is the best by far, because it instantly causes you to relax. It turns you from stress to calm, from panic to calm, from anxious and worried to calm. So you have those little hacks and use them all the time, because they absolutely work.
Thank you so
So I
much.
think all of us definitely need those gestures, because all of us get stressed, we panic. So we're going to keep that in mind. Thank you.
But here's something else too. You see, don't use the word stress and panic. Say, the mind can't tell the difference between stress and excitement. You can say I'm stressed, I'm nervous, or I'm excited. The mind doesn't know. Whenever I walk on stage to speak in front of thousands of people, I have a choice. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. But look at all these people. They expect so much. What if I get it all wrong? What about my mouth? And I don't even know what to say. I could choose that. Or I could say, feeling I'm excited, I'm so excited, this is exciting. I don't always feel excited, but I tell myself I'm excited. I'm telling myself a lie. I could say I'm so nervous and stressed or excited. So I tell myself I'm excited. This feeling in my body is this feeling I need to keep going to the bathroom. My fingers are shaking. It's excitement. Is that true? It doesn't matter what it's true. It only matters that my mind believes I'm excited and not nervous. So don't say panic. Don't say stressed. Don't say excited, 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 excited. Because if you say it, it will become true.
Yes, so let's all of us remember to change that from panic, stress to excited, excited, excited. Yes, students, let's keep that in mind, right? Can we have the next question, please?
Hello, ma'am. Myself, Purvi Agrawal. I like to ask you that when we put in our constant efforts and hard work, and if we are still unable to achieve our goal, how do we dust ourselves to work constantly or begin again? Like, how do we keep ourselves motivated in such situations?
I think we often overestimate. We think, okay, I've done all this, success is going to appear like that. Sometimes it takes a long time. A delay is not a denial. You might think, look, I believe this would work. I worked really hard, hasn't worked. And you'll find that many, many writers will say that, you know, I wrote a book, it got turned down. I wrote a play, it got turned down. I wrote a script for a movie, it got turned down. I don't know if you know who Celine Dion is, but she is the girl who was in Titanic, very famous singer. And all her cassettes really got turned down and turned down and turned down, but she kept going. So success is not getting disappointed. Success doesn't mean you never fail. It doesn't mean you never hear no, it doesn't mean you never get to. What it means is how fast do you get up again? You've got to see it as like a big red rubber ball. You must have the bounce back factor. Almost everyone who's successful will say, well, you know, I had a period when it didn't work. I invented something, it didn't work. I ran a business, it didn't work. I started here, but I came back. And so I get it that you have the self-belief that you've done the work and that you haven't got the results, and that can be very disappointing. However, do you have the bounce back factor? Can you keep going? And sometimes you have to go back and go, hey, maybe I need to look again at this feeling of worth it, because maybe I did the 80% but not 100%. I would always go back, not to how much work you're doing, but to the feeling of, do I really, really, really believe I'm worth it? Do I still have part of my head that says, if people found out, they think I was a fraud? Do you still have a little bit of imposter syndrome? Keep working on that, and if you keep working on it, and if you keep working on those habits of success that successful people have, you will have success too.
So reaffirming these beliefs would really get to that, right? The success. I said the reaffirming these beliefs within us would definitely get to that. The success.
Yes. But it's not like once, you don't do it once, you think, okay, I've done that, I decided I was worth it, I knew what it looked like, I did the work. You have to do it all the time, because all the time your potential is expanding, your mind is moving to new dimensions. So it isn't, let's do this once and stop. I still have to do this every day, every week. Believe I'm worth it. I'm working on a new program, I have to really see what that looked like and keep changing it. And then now I'm doing the hard work. I see what it is, I know I'm worth it, and now I'm doing a lot of work to get this new program ready. So it isn't something you do once. And many people think, well, I did that. I know I'm worth it. I know what it looks like. I've done the work. It didn't work. You've got to do it all the time, every day, every week. Check in. Do I believe I'm worth this? Do I really know what this looks like? Am I really doing the work 100%? If you do those three things, it will work. But you've got to do them all the time.
Yes, absolutely. All right, can we have another question from Marisa, please?
Yeah, Marisa, my question is, you just made a special mention to ask you a question on addiction. So why is it that the mind succumbs to addiction? Can you throw more light on it, please?
Yeah, you see, many people look at addiction addiction, and they focus on what's wrong with it. I'm always on the screen, I'm always on my phone, I'm always eating cakes, I'm always procrastinating. And I think with addiction, you need to ask yourself a different question. What's right about it? What does the addiction give you? So if any of you have an addiction, whether it's to screen time or phone time or sugar, ask yourself a different question. What does the addiction give me? Well, it calms me down. It comforts me. It rewards me. I know after a bad day, if I eat some chocolate and sit on my screen, I kind of numb out. I don't have to deal with stress. And when you understand what the addiction gives you, then you're able to think, okay, if I see what it gives me, what's right about it, then I can understand how to move away from it. And I've worked with thousands and thousands of addicts, drug addicts, alcoholics, food addicts, every kind of addict you can think of. I never met one ever who believed they were enough. I believe the core of all of our addictions is a belief I'm not enough. If I'm not enough, then I need more. More food, more screen time, more something, more shopping, more spending, more stuff. Because whether you're a kleptomaniac or a hoarder or someone who's binging on sugar or spending way too much time on their phone, addictions stem from the not enoughness in you. So how do you fix that? Well, you fix it by looking at the truth. I don't feel enough, so I need more of something. But if you work on the I'm not enough by saying, I am enough, I am enough. You see, let's go back again to that ladder. Imagine this is a ladder. Here's the thought, I'm not enough. If I think the thought I'm not enough, then what do I feel? I feel sad, I feel empty, I feel lacking. So therefore my behaviors are I need more of something, more food, more screen time, more possessions. I need more likes on social media because they make me feel enough. But if I change that thought, I'm not enough, to I am enough, and if I keep saying I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm enough, then what do I feel? Well, I feel positive, I feel confident, I feel strong, I feel brave. And then all my actions and behaviors are better. I take risks, I speak to people. I don't need screen time and chocolate and sugar because I know I'm enough. So if we can all accept that the core of addiction stems from I'm not enough, and if we could fix that by saying I am enough, every day, you might notice I wear all these bracelets that say I'm enough, I have it all over my house. It isn't what I say, it's what I write in. I write it on my fridge, and you should too. If you start every day going, I'm enough, I matter, I'm significant, you wouldn't be addicted to anything. But also do take a look at what does the addiction give you, because when you can see what it gives you, then you can see how to replace it with something better. It gives me comfort, but I can comfort myself in better ways. It allows me to be numb. I could meditate to feel numb. I could use Marisa's meditation to be chilled. I don't need to be eating the wrong stuff, to be eating too much, to be binging, hoarding, buying, shopping, being distracted. So the cure is to know that you're enough and to look at what it gives you, and then to give you what it gives you, but in a more productive way. I hope that helps you. And by the way, if you go to marisapeer.com website, we have lots and lots of totally free. We don't ask you for a card, they're all free. We have audios on love blocks, money blocks, health blocks, success blocks. So go to marisapeer.com, take whatever you want, they're completely free, and they will help you a lot. And also if you go onto my YouTube, you can see me giving talks on addiction, and again, they're all completely free.
Well, thank you. We'll definitely check that out. Can we take another question?
Hello ma'am, my name is Kshitij Manjrekar, and my question to you is, how can we stay motivated if the same routine demotivates us?
Well, people are very confused about motivation. They think motivation turns up, knocks on your door, go, hey, here I am, motivation. Motivation begins when you begin. I am not motivated to clean my house. I'm not motivated to go to the gym, and I'm not motivated to write, but I know something. When I take the action, motivation follows. So when I begin to write, when I get to the gym, when I begin to clean out my closet, I become motivated to keep going. But when you're doing an action you don't like, you go, how can I be motivated? I'm doing this something that bores me. You have to decide if it excites you, even if it isn't true. Again, it's going back to telling yourself a better lie. I don't want to do this task, but how can I make it more exciting? Could music work? Not if you're studying. But could there be something? Could I have the reward? I talked earlier about delayed gratification. I'm going to spend 2 hours studying and then I'm going to go for a walk, have some delicious food, call a friend, have my screen time. So when you're becoming demotivated and you're losing energy, go back to, I'm going to reward myself for this. I'm going to find a way of making it more enjoyable. I'm going to find something to do. So I don't love working out, but I always put on music that I really like. Okay, if I do this for half an hour, even though I don't want to, how can I reward myself? How can I motivate myself? I really don't want to do this boring paperwork, but I'm going to say something. No, I'm going to feel so good when I've done it. When I've done it, I'm going to feel amazing. I'm going to power through it, and I'm going to reward myself when I've done it. So how you cope with demotivation is to keep re-motivating yourself by saying, this is exciting. I may not love doing it, but I love the feeling I get at completion. The best bit of working out is the feeling when you've done it. The best bit of studying and writing is when you've completed it. So get motivated by how you feel when you've done it, and indeed when you're doing it. And always give yourself little rewards, even if it's just a piece of candy or a phone call. Give yourself little rewards and it will keep you highly motivated. But remember, motivation comes from action. Motivation doesn't appear when you take action, then you become motivated to continue.
Well, thank you. Can we take one last question for Marisa, please?
Hi ma'am, I'm Elsa.
Hi.
Let's say I figure out a lot of things about myself, but there's still going to be a lot of toxicity that comes from maybe elsewhere or from personal friends or otherwise. So what do you think is the best way I deal with it? Do I block it? Do I shove it out? What do I do?
Well, I'm so glad you asked me that question, Elsa, because one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to not let that in. See, if I said to you, Elsa, I don't really like you, it's not your fault, but I hate people with green hair. You'd say, my hair isn't green, I can't let that in. I don't have green hair, that's ridiculous. And you wouldn't let it in, because you know it's not true. If someone said to me, I don't like you because I can't stand that purple hat, my hat isn't purple, I wouldn't let that in. But you see, when people say, I don't like you, you're boring, you're not interesting, and we let it in. And you have to understand that there are people in the world who are mean and critical, but you have a choice not to let it in. Many of my clients will say, today somebody trolled me, I read a horrible comment about me, and I go, look, nobody wakes up and goes, hey, my life was amazing, who can I troll today? I'm so happy, who can I go online and diminish? Who can I bully? Bullies don't wake up and go, wow, I'm the happiest person in the world, I think I'll go to school and bully somebody. So people who are toxic are unhappy. Hurt people, damage people, like to damage people. A miserable person wants you to be as miserable as they are because they feel equal. So if this was a seesaw, here's you and here's a toxic person. But in a toxic person's mind, you're actually elevated and they are diminished, and they have one choice, two choices actually. So here's you, here's someone who's toxic. They have to diminish you or elevate themselves to make that happen. Because they don't want equality, they want superiority. And they can only be superior by diminishing you or elevating themselves. That's their choice. Your choice is to not let it in. When someone is mean and toxic and hurtful, which some people are, you have to say, oh, they're having a bad day, this is an unhappy person, do not let it in. I can promise you not letting in destructive criticism has changed my life. Constructive criticism says, hey Elsie, you're always late, it's not great, it'd be better if you could be on time. Hey Elsie, you speak really fast, could you just slow down? That's when they go, Elsa, you're boring, or you're not my friend. That can be hurtful, but you do not have to let it in. Not letting in criticism, being your own cheerleader will change your life. So you can't change other people, but you can change yourself. When someone is mean and hurtful and horrible, think, well, that's an unhappy person, or this person's having a bad day. They're saying horrible things, but you get to say, you know what, I'm not letting that in. I don't agree with it. Nobody can make you feel bad unless you give them your permission. People can say mean things, but if you don't agree with them, you've already won. Don't let it in. Do not give someone your permission to make you feel bad. Now, say bad things, do mean things. You know, good people do bad things. Smart people do stupid things all the time. But really smart people don't take it personally. We all in our life going to come across people who are mean, a boss who's mean, even a friend who's mean. But we have the choice every minute of the day. I'm not going to let that in. I won't give that the power to hurt me. I won't let it in. And when someone says something mean, counter it by saying something. If someone said to me, you're really boring, I go, well, I don't think so. If someone said to me, you're really delicate, I don't think so. If someone said to me, I hate the way you dress, which people do say that, I go, well, I don't dress for you, I dress for me. I like the way I dress and I'm doing it for myself. So you have to learn to counter the negativity by saying something good, because your mind knows those people have an agenda and their words hurt less, but it's your words. Oh, my friend doesn't like me, this person just dumped me, they don't want to be with me, I'm devastated. But you say, well, they don't want to be with me, then I don't want to be with them. They don't want to be my friend, then they've created a space for someone else to be my friend, and I'm going to take advantage of that space. Always make yourself feel better. Don't give that power to someone else. If you give other people the power to make you feel good, you know what you do? You give them the power to make you feel bad. If you say, I need my friends to like me to feel worth anything, I need people to approve of me to feel worth anything, you've given all your power away. If they have the power to make you feel good, then you better believe they have the power to make you feel bad. If you have like, hey, I like myself and I'm a good person, then you have the power and you're never going to make yourself feel bad. So take back your power. Don't give other people the power to make you feel good or bad. Do it yourself and you'll always be winning.
Well, that was a very powerful Q&A with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Students, yes, we always have deeply connected with what the stage. The 3 stages to manifest is something that we all have to keep in mind, along with the 7 habits that we just suggested. Very important. So before we conclude, it's been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. On behalf of the foundation, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Marisa Peer for bringing to us this intuitive topic. Your thoughts have truly inspired us today. I would like to thank the organizers, the Sheila Gopal Raheja Foundation. Sincere thanks to Mrs. Durga Raheja for this fabulous initiative. I must thank the organizing team and faculties for their astounding support. Thank you to the lovely dignitaries and dear guests and members of the press. Finally, I would like to thank all the students for being here today. Thank you. And goodbye.
Thank you.
लाइव स्टॉप करा जाएगा स्ट्रीम लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग लाइव बंद करना यूट्यूब का हाँ यूट्यूब